Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for render price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis, starting with the overview for the bullish and the bearish scenarios where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 impulse toward the upside. You have finished a wave 1 or a wave A in this case scenario. You're looking for a deep wave ABC corrective to hit the 0.618 and then looking for higher in a wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5, potentially in 1, 2, 3 and a correction for a wave 4, and still looking for a wave 5, of course, for a leading diagonal. Obviously, a leading diagonal where you have started, of course, an impulse for wave 1, impulse for wave 3, you're looking the same for a wave 5. An impulse towards the upside, taking the all-time high and considering that you have finished a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 toward the upside explosion with a massive wave 3. Now, basically, another scenario can be, of course, an ABC finished here as a zigzag. You have finished potentially a wave A, you're looking at a wave B, probably finished, probably not, and then, of course, looking for a wave C from there towards the upside as, of course, A, B, and a C. Now, the last bullish scenario is a double 1, 2, 1, 2, and then another 1, 2, and moving toward the upside. You have hit the minimum requirement as well for the wave 2, which is of course in the box of confluence for the targets here. We have finished as well in confluence a 1-to-1 fib level here inside the blue box, and we're moving toward the upside in both case scenario, whether you are bullish or whether you are bearish. In your bearish scenario where you have finished already the short term, and potentially if you have a longer term for a bearish, you would like to see here a double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 toward the downside, of course, to finish here a potential A, B, and a C, or potentially double 1, 2. So if you have a zigzag for a wave A as well, you're looking for a wave B and potentially for a wave C after it to finish, of course, a potential big wave 1, 2, meaning A, B, and a C, and then moving toward the upside again. However, higher potential and possibilities goes for the bullish. The probabilities are higher for the bullish because you are 3 against a 1 for the bearish here. Only one bearish scenario, 3 main scenarios for the bullish. And then you're looking, of course, definitely for higher prices. Now, of course, this scenario where you have 3 ways down, 3 ways up, of course, is gonna be retested once we finish this structure, potentially at the 1-to-1 fib level. If we see continuation toward the upside, therefore, definitely we have to call one of these bullish scenarios unfolding for higher prices. Now, if we dive a little bit deeper inside this area, we can see, of course, on the 4-hour chart, we have, after bottoming here in the blue box, the perfect blue box, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the upside where you potentially finished a wave 1. Meaning this impulse as a 1, 2, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for the wave 3, ABC for the wave 4, and you're looking here at a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially can be finished here as an impulse toward the upside. What you are looking at here is this is definitely a corrective wave and not impulsive. Therefore, I cannot really consider this as a wave 5 here because it looks like, yeah, you have your wave 5 longer than wave 3, meaning invalidation for ending diagonal in case it is an ending diagonal. But this is not the case, meaning you have started, of course, your correction from this high A, potentially B, and you're looking to a wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, this wave 3 is very questionable. It's not looking, of course, nice. I believe that this is turning to something else corrective like A, B, C, and then or W, X, and a Y. So potentially you would like to hit basically a wave 2 right now for render between the 0.38, which is a minimum requirement. Of course, after finishing an impulse here toward the upside, you're looking for a wave 2 and then moving for higher prices. Unless something else is still unfolding here as a wave 4. And that means, of course, that you might be in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. However, the time of this wave 4 is incredibly very, very long regarding to the wave 2, as alternation, of course, this doesn't really work nicely. And so we see a very long wave 4 based on the wave 2, meaning the probability gets lower but still of course probable. And don't forget that in case you hit the wave zone 1 here, you will invalidate any kind of impulsive wave in case you did not finish it yet. So basically you would prefer that you have finished here a wave 5 rather than invalidating as this wave 5 and the whole impulse. Yeah, so yeah, basically you want to consider that this is a finished impulse toward the upside, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Whatever is gonna happen in this area, it doesn't matter. I believe that the 0.38 has to be touched, of course, as a wave 1 and a 2, and then of course looking for higher. Don't forget as well that this can be a 3 ways down and then 3 ways up as an expanding flat to 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, giving of course a wave 2 even later on. And based on the time of this wave 1 here, if we have a wave 1, yeah, we're still so far from the timing, by the way, for a wave 2. And therefore, even if you want the minimum requirement time, would be this one. Okay, guys, so basically, I prefer to see at least the 1-to-1 fib level or the 0.618 fib time here hit at least for this wave 2. And meaning, it is very normal to see the price right now ranging very sideways until it decides to have something else. So I believe here we're having an ABC or WXNY for a wave A, having a wave B higher, taking the all-time high, and moving down again, of course, for a wave 2. These are my prediction for a render, and then of course after wave 2, we're gonna move toward the upside impulsively and massively for a wave 3. Yep, if we take a look also at KGT for render, so on KGT on the 15-minute chart, we can see an impressive divergence, bullish divergence toward the upside, which it might bring us, of course, for a wave B expanding flat as explained as well. And it can be, of course, guys, something else I'm going to explain in case we have a much more higher bullish scenario. I'm going to explain the double 1-2s here, which is a possible scenario as well that we have to keep it in mind. So basically, what do we have here is on the 5-minute chart, you have invalidation of bullish signals. So also you have to be careful on the lower time frame, which are always the leaders of the price action. Of course, if you see on lower time frame invalidation of bullish, that means of course you have to be careful. We might not see what we can see in a bigger time frame like the 15-minute chart. So the lower time frame always leads the situation. As you can see also, we have a bearish signals here, conversions, we have invalidation of the bullish, meaning higher potential to move toward the downside. Now, another scenario can be here, a double 1-2. Is it possible? Well, it can be, guys, if you want to consider a 1-2. And this is kind of a wave 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave 1 here and then wave 2. And you're considering another wave 1 and then another wave 2 and then moving toward the upside. So that would be an ultimate bullish scenario, of course, but not really high possibility yet. I prefer to keep it, of course, as a question mark here. How we make sure that we are not in a double 1-2 here. Actually, yeah, once you pass the high here, once you pass the fib level for an expanding flat, here we go. So if this is your expanding flat wave B, let me reverse. Right, so once you pass those fib level, which is the last fib level for an expanding flat, because of course the potential of being expanding flat is very high here as well. And then being yeah, the 1.38 is also very, very possible. Yeah, so A, B, and a C toward the downside. This is a very possible expanding flat that it might happen, guys. So basically, in these levels, of course, we might see an expanding flat. Higher than this, of course, start to be much more as a wave 3 impulsive, and you would like to see, of course, really very high wave 3. Yeah, so these are the things. Now, as per KGT, of course, we see some drop toward the downside, some pressure, of course, from the selling. And of course, you might still see up and downs, but the pressure in a bigger view is still, of course, toward the downside. The invalidation here also is very clear for the bullish signals. So yeah, higher possibility right now still, of course, to take the low. That was it for render. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.